Dicky here for just a video, an update in a way. I haven't made videos all year, and a lot of last year, because now I'm in year 10, we're starting our GCSE, so I haven't been able to. I feel like make time is a bit harsh, but it is that I just haven't been able to make time for it because I've been having to deal with exams. We had a lot of exams at the beginning of the year, and we're doing a lot of revision. We're doing our maths GCSE this year, and we've been doing control assessments in Spanish and ICES and all those things. So I just haven't been able to. And I also on Tuesday I went into the hospital for surgery, and that's what this video is going to be about, because I am 15 and I went in for surgery, and it's mainly I'm wanting to explain the process of how it all works, and just like in case any of you are ever going into surgery or ever going to a hospital for anything, never feel nervous or worried about it, because they know what they're doing, and most of the time you'll be fine. Beginning of last year, I noticed something was different. I told my parents immediately. I was actually here with my mum, we're watching TV, and noticed something was a bit different. Told my mum. We examined it, realised it wasn't meant to be there. We went to our local doctor, and she did an examination. She said, yeah, that's a bit odd. The thing was, it's called a fibroadenoma. It's like a little lump of fibrous tissue, like not connected to anything in the body, but like it's just there, and you can tell that it's that because it like moves around like a marble in the vicinity of where it is. And we went to her, and she said, yeah, okay, you should probably I'll see if I can book you an appointment at the hospital. And then a couple of months later, we went to the hospital, met with our consultant. She did an examination, said, okay, I'll book you in the next couple of weeks for a full examination, but we'll do all the other things and everything, and we'll do like things like tests and everything, and a biopsy on it. And so they did all that. It was really weird and uncomfortable as well, because I didn't know anybody there, but like not knowing them in that kind of personal way, but then realising that you don't really need to know them kind of was helpful in a way. And then so they did the biopsy. It was a local anaesthetic. I've never been under an anaesthetic before, so that was quite odd, like not being able to feel anything but knowing stuff was happening. So when they do a biopsy, they have a thing, it's a bit like a gun that will cut out a bit of whatever it is they're taking a sample of, and it sounds like a gun. So she went, okay, so this is what it's going to sound like, bang. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to put this in a little incision that we've made and take samples. I was like, okay. She went, okay, I'm going to do one now, bang. And it's like, you know you're not meant to jump, but you feel as though, because you're like, you know you shouldn't jump, because if you do jump, you might knock it or anything, but it was odd. And then they put a massive bandage. So, and they've got these weird sticky things, they're quite cool. It's like a plastic sticky thing. It's about that big, plastic, and it is like really, it's got really strong adhesive. So it'll stick there and you can't like peel it off very easily. So they did all that, and then a couple of months later we got results back. It wasn't cancerous, it was fine. And they said, well, we'll come in, we can talk about it. So I came in again, we talked about it. She explained what it was, explained that it wasn't serious, there wasn't really anything. It was quite large though. She said that usually they would remove it if it's under a certain size. So if it's under, I think, 3 centimeters, they can remove it with like a suctiony thing. But because of the size, mine was like 3 or 4 centimeters big, like in diameter, they said they couldn't remove it like that. So they said, well, if it's not causing any problems, then you don't have to have it removed. If you do want to have it removed, you have to go into surgery. I was like, okay, well, I don't think I need to have it removed, it's fine. And then, so I didn't have it removed, decided I wasn't going to, and then I was fine with that, but it was just, like, in the way. And it started doing this weird thing where be doing nothing, absolutely fine, fiddling around, maybe drawing, and suddenly I get shooting pains. And they'd go on for, like, varying amount of time, and it was really painful, and I wasn't sure why it was doing that or anything. And then, like, that would happen, and I'd think, oh, that hurt a bit. And I go, well, that's, like, once, it won't do it again. And then assume it wouldn't. And then it would again. And it would just hurt. And also, any pressure on it would really hurt. So, I'm quite clumsy. So, I'd bump into things a lot. And if I bumped into anything, it would really hurt. And it just was getting in the way. So I decided, okay, maybe I will have it removed. So we went there, talked about it, and then decided I was going to have it removed. So she went, okay, we're going to get you a date for the operation. We got given the date, realised it was in the middle of my mum working really long hours, so we went, oh, we can't do that. So we called back, said we couldn't, so then they moved the operation, and it was this Tuesday, and I came out of school for it, and we went there in the morning. You're not allowed to eat anything for, I think it was 9 hours before the operation, so I couldn't eat anything. I had dinner and then I couldn't eat anything after that. So 9 hours before the operation you can't eat anything, and you can't drink anything 2 hours before the operation. So I didn't eat anything and I didn't drink anything in the morning at all, because I was like, well, I don't know when the surgery's going to happen, I'm not going to drink anything this morning. So the last time I had anything to eat was about 7, the last time I had anything to drink was about 9 in the evening the day before. So we went in, sat down, went into a room, because I'm under 16 and I had to be in the children's ward, which is quite odd because there were young people in the surgery ward. It was really sad knowing that those were children who were obviously going to go into surgery today. And we went into the room, and then we had to fill out a bunch of forms and all this stuff. And then one of the things, so the 2 surgeons came in and they said, well, one of us is going to do the surgery for you, and we need to go through some things with you. So we need to make sure that you understand the risks of having the surgery. So they explained the risks and then got me to repeat them. And they were like, in the area that the lump's going to be removed, you can get fluid build-up, there can be a scar left where they cut into the skin, there can be a dip in the skin where it was removed, it can be bleeding, that kind of stuff. And it was like, okay, cool, that's good. And then they got everything ready, and they put, at the very beginning, they said they put some like gel, so like a numbing gel in the back of my hand, and then stuck it down so that it would stay there. So it would numb the back of my hands, because you know the IV drip goes in there, and you can actually see that's where it went in. And the anaesthetic hadn't started working yet, so I could still feel. So when they put the needle in, I could feel the needle go in, and it was really like painful. And then when the needle was in, it was fine, but then they had to stick it down so it wouldn't move. And every time I stuck it down, I could feel it pushing against my bone, and it was really odd. But they wheeled me through to the operating room. Well, actually, I'd walked there, but you know, we already had the bed. We sat down. Everything was fine, all sorted. Had the cuff on, the IV drip in, the thingy on your finger, all that. Everything sorted. Lying down, asking me questions, making sure I was fine, and then suddenly, I wake up and everything's all blurry and everything. And then she goes, okay, you feeling alright? Yeah. yeah, can you see well? I can kind of see the clock. And it was like 11:30 or something. And then she wheels me back into the room where my mum is, and I can kind of see my mum. I know it's her, but I can kind of see her. She's really blurry. And my mum explains to me that basically when they put, there's this white like liquid, which is the anaesthetic, and when like they were halfway through it, and suddenly I was like, went down and went under the anaesthetic, and then it was really odd because I didn't feel anything. I didn't notice anything was happening. All that happened was there. Everything's blurry now, and it was interesting, but it was fine. And then I got dressed. They'd given local anaesthetic to the area that the lump had been removed, so that I wouldn't feel any pain there, and told me take painkillers for a while. So I was told, oh, you're not allowed to do anything really. They said, oh, you can't do anything, like you can't pick anything up for 24 hours. So you can't pick up a kettle because your judgment of things will be poor. You can't make any decisions because there's the possibility that you won't be able to make rational decisions. So you can't sign any forms or documents about yourself. And it was really like, okay, I'm not going to be doing that, but I can understand why. And it was interesting. It was obviously nerve-wracking, but it was fine. And I'm mainly saying this because I was obviously nervous because I've never had surgery. I've never really been in a hospital before ever. So it was an odd experience for me, but it's just like, if you are going to be going to the hospital or think maybe I should go to the doctors, it's probably worth going there, and it's probably worth doing all that stuff. In England we have the NHS, so we don't have to pay anything. Of course we pay in taxes, but that kind of stuff. But in other countries, for example America and stuff, you have to pay for all your healthcare and stuff. So it's just, don't be nervous if you're younger and you're going in for the first time. Don't be nervous, don't worry about anything, you'll be fine. They make sure that you're going to be fine. They don't want to have to, they know if something is happening that's not meant to happen. They know what they should do, they know what they have to do, and they will always try and always make sure that you're good. Okay? So this is just me giving you my experience of it and reassuring you guys in the event that anything like that happens. And it's an excuse to say no. It's weird because I've got the biodegradable stitches and I've got the cover and everything. It's odd and it's sometimes hurts, most of the time it isn't, and I'm having to continuously take painkillers. It's like, it's annoying, and it's fine now. It's better now. I just wanted to let you guys know, hopefully, that you have a fine experience as well. But yeah, just letting you guys know, explaining why I haven't been making videos. Hopefully I will be able to make some over the holidays, because the half term is coming up soon, so hopefully I'll be able to make a video then. But yeah, good luck in your life. Hopefully see you soonish. Yeah, Gecko out.